Hello, and welcome to The Topic, where we highlight Houston Community College, our students, our programs, and our reach into the community. I'm Daniel Scholl, one of the financial coaches here at HCC, and we're here every Thursday afternoon when HCC is in session, live at 2 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube. Follow us on social media as Houston Community College District, and watch us on HCC TV via your local cable provider. You know, when you look your best, you often feel your best. And today, we're going to look at the Consumer Arts and Sciences Center of Excellence and learn how their graduates help people tap into that inner confidence and present their best selves to the world. Joining us first is Tovia Singleterry, a full-time faculty member with our eyelash extension certification. Tovia, welcome. How are you doing today? I think you might be muted. Tovia.
There we go.
There we go. All right. We're glad you're here. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Thank you very much. So I've been thinking about this. When you look into someone's eyes, right, and you're close up to them, and that's pretty intimate. I would imagine proper skills, knowledge, safety, that's very important. Is the eyelash extension service regulated in the state of Texas?
It actually is. Finally, the state of Texas require you to have a Texas Department of License, Texas Department in Licensing. I'm sorry, excuse me. Clear my throat.
Fine.
So basically, you are required to have a license as an eyelash extension specialist in the state of Texas. Unfortunately, we do have individuals that are working without it. And so they're being misled by other individuals that are training them to do the actual service, but they're not being honest in letting them know that they are required to have a license from the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation.
Well, that's really important, I would think. Especially, and then it's exciting to know that HCC is taking a step into there, make sure that this does stay like a regulated industry.
Yes.
My understanding is that our program offers a C1 certificate. What is that? And what's the difference between a certification and a license?
So a certification, basically, the C1 basically certifies that the student completed the program with Houston Community College. Does that mean that they are allowed to work in the industry with a C1 certificate? That's only a certificate of completion. It allows the students to graduate after each semester. And so they still go on to and must go on to Texas Department of Licensing to not only take the written exam, but also a practical exam as well. And so I think that could lead to confusion, because if I was an individual, I would think, okay, I'm certified through HCC, meaning that I have a certificate, so then I can provide the services. But unfortunately, no, that's just a certificate that you completed the 4 classes at Houston Community College.
Gotcha. So what requirements are needed for students to take that state exam?
And so they would need a total of 320 hours of completion in the accredited program. And in order to get that, they would complete the 4 classes that we have in the eyelash extension program. I would say I can give you the course information if you like that. Is CSME 1409,
okay,
CSME 1491, and 1308 and 1507. So those are the 4 classes that are required for students to complete the 320 hours. They must pass all 4 classes to obtain those 320 hours to go to board to start with the written exam.
Okay, great. That's good information. And we'll have that in our post after the show as well, what those courses are. It seems to me, as I'm walking around, more and more women are getting eyelash extensions. I would assume that means a lot of people are wanting to provide the service and start that as a career. How long is that program, and what all do students learn in the program?
So the program is actually 1 semester. And so in this, the program is basically ran for spring and then also fall. And so students, basically, once they start, say January, which is spring semester, they're usually completed in May. And so they graduate in May with the C1 certificate. But again, they must go to the Texas Department of Licensing to start the process of obtaining the license to perform the services. What I do teach in the class, when it comes to state board, they're only required to learn how to do the classic extensions. And so that is one of the main focuses, but my objective is to be sure that students are prepared for the real world and their career. So I also teach them not only classic, I teach them advanced techniques such as volume, make a volume, and things of that nature. And I've also included eyebrow enhancements as well. So it keeps them busy. The 4 months tend to fly by pretty fast with all the information that needs to be provided in that 4 months. Not only am I preparing them for the licensure, I'm also preparing them for the real world as well. So it's teaching them safety and sanitation, infection control, consultation, how to be a professional eyelash extension specialist, and how they present themselves out in the community.
Wow, that seems like just an incredible value for what you're paying here at HCC. I mean, to do that in one semester and get all that, that's really amazing.
Yes.
Speaking of that value, does the program qualify for financial aid?
It does. It does.
Wonderful.
It does.
And I also understand.
Grateful for that news.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I also understand that, obviously they need some real life experience. And so we provide complimentary services to students to participate in their skills. How did somebody participate in that?
And so basically every Tuesday at 8:30, we allow the students the opportunity to practice on models. And that's not only just the Houston community students, we also practice on individuals in the community. And so lately it's been very busy the last, I would say, 3 weeks with community and then guests from the eyelash students family. They actually come and participate as well, allow their family members to practice on them. And then also we have other students that are now reaching out to have the service performed on them on Tuesdays.
That's awesome. What does that normally cost?
And so if we're starting with classic extensions could run about, depending on your market area, where you're located, they could run about maybe $130.
Oh, wow.
For a full set.
Okay.
And then the volume could exceed up to $250.
Okay, so we're saving students a lot of money to come in and help other students out. It sounds like a real win-win situation. Well, this is incredibly exciting, and I think it's awesome that we're providing these services to get our students into a lucrative career.
Yes.
I want to thank you, Tovia Singleterry, one of our full-time faculty members with our eyelash extension certification. We're going to have all your contact information in our post after the show. And when we come back, we're going to visit with the Barber program here at HCC.
At Houston Community College, we make your lessons matter. Open the door to real-world education, where passions become careers. Find out more at hccs.edu and let your success take flight.
For more than a year, we have kept you informed with more than 500 remote episodes. But now we're back, bigger and better, with more news and more guests. Join us live every weekday at 10 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube, and on HCC TV at noon and 5 p.m. You can watch from anywhere. We go where you go.
And welcome back to the topic. We're talking about the Consumer Arts and Sciences Center of Excellence today. And now we're joined by Marcus Leonard and Renee Nelson, Barber instructors here at HCC. Welcome, Marcus and Renee. How y'all doing?
How you doing? You doing fine?
Good. So, we were talking a little bit earlier off air. I'm looking a little shaggy. Probably need some barber instruction. Can you give us an overview of the barber program?
All right, so the barber program at HCC, we're open to the public every Tuesday and Wednesday. So you say you looking shaggy, come visit our students and they can for sure get you back to the top shape you need to be in.
Love it. What can a student expect when they enroll in the program?
You want to take this?
Well, a student can expect, of course, we're going to prep them to pass the state board written and practical exam. So that's most important for them to pass all their courses to be able to take their state board class. But our goal is for the students to be able to do above average haircuts when they leave and to give elite customer service. Customer service will take them a long way until their skills pick up to most of the professions in the industry, 5 years or more experience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Right. You got to kind of make up as you're getting started. Those little things make a huge difference. Are you seeing a lot of, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, are you seeing a lot of demand for the program?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We cut every Tuesday and Wednesday, and we see about
At least 40 plus.
40 plus clients a day. And that includes students, faculty, as well as, people in the community. So we're constantly flooded with clientele. And some folks we have to turn around. We're not even doing kids.
Yeah, no, that's a good problem to have. What about enrollment? Are you seeing an increase in demand on people wanting to come to HCC for this licensure?
We actually are. And now that we offer financial aid in our program, we've seen the requests come even faster. So we're excited about that.
So there's a waiting list.
We have a waiting list right now for students wanting to actually come into the barbering field.
Oh, wow. Is there anything that students can do, to get into the program faster, or is it just first come, first serve on that waiting list?
It's pretty much first come, first serve.
Okay.
And enrollment starts in the fall. So it's a 2-semester program. So, you have to wait, so you can't enroll next semester. You have to wait until the fall to be able to enroll into the program.
Okay. So somebody gets out of the program, they get licensed. What's the next step for them? What career paths are kind of out there?
So as a licensed barber, you're now an entrepreneur. So you're pretty much working for yourself. So if you would like to go into a shop, a barber shop, a traditional set barber shop, you're welcome to do that, pay booth rent, or you can go to a bigger salon and maybe even there pay booth rent, or even go into a commission-based, situation. So once you get your license, you're open to pretty much do anything you set your mind to.
Okay. Do you, how many people would you recommend? I mean, I'm sure for a lot of people, the goal is to have your own shop someday, right? Is that something you see students trying to do right away, or is it generally more that they go work for someone else for a little bit, get some practice in, and then try to open up their own shop?
Well, me personally, I advise students to go work in someone else's shop. Again, hone in on your skill set before you step out there and try to pursue owning your own shop, because there's a lot of financial responsibilities with owning your own shop. So again, I tend to tell my students, go to a traditional setting. Myself and Miss Renee, we're in an actual barber suite. And so I don't advise some of my students to go initially jump into the barber suite because there's no storefront. So you have to actually promote yourself if you don't have the existing clientele in the beginning. So
Gotcha.
Go into a traditional barbershop, work that traditional barbershop anywhere to 6 months to a year, talk to your clients, build that relationship with your clients, and then make that jump out. If you can, step out and get into your own barbershop or salon suite.
So when you say salon suite, I noticed I remember the salon park in the mall.
Yes.
Is that kind of what you're talking about, where individual people all in one area, but they're all kind of their own,
right.
owning their own thing?
Right. We're both in Salon by JC's right now.
Okay, cool. Now, I understand that this program has also recently done some community outreach with Houston Independent School District.
Yeah.
Yes.
What are y'all doing there?
Well, we had went out to Blackshear Elementary and we gave haircuts, free haircuts to the students. The students had to get permission, of course, from their parents. There was a waiver form that was signed. And also on that waiver form was a description of how the students would like for them to get their haircuts for that day. So we were there maybe 3 hours, I think, that day to provide those haircuts. And it turned out pretty good. You know, all the students that wanted haircuts that day, they were able to get served. Again, for all the students, our students, it was a good learning experience for them because, again, they got to, most of their clientele, when they actually get out in the field, I'm going to say more than 50% will be little kids.
Yeah.
So they got a chance to get that interaction with those little kids at the elementary school. And so we're planning next semester to again do it again, maybe possibly at Blackshear or another elementary school, and just continue on doing that service.
Yeah, well, and I would imagine it's very different, you know, cutting the hair of an adult versus a child, right? And since you're not taking kids here at the HCC, I mean, that's a great experience, I would imagine. Those kids probably get a little squirrely around around the seat. Any kids say they wanted a mohawk or anything like that?
Yeah,
you see a lot of
everything.
Yeah,
everything.
They ask for everything, designs,
crazy
parts.
designs, parts.
That's fun. Mm-hmm. So how can people that are interested in the program, how can they get more information about outreach events, opportunities coming up, entering the program, things like that?
So of course you can always stop by our lab, our barber lab. Stopping in our lab, you know, you can actually see what you're getting yourself into. You can see the students working, you can see how they're interacting with their clients, and you can actually come and talk to me or Mr. Leonard, and we can, you know, give you all the paperwork and necessary things that you might need to do before we can, you know, get you put into the program.
Okay. And I assume there's a webpage on the HCC website as well.
On the HCC for sure.
Okay, if somebody does want to stop by and ask, where are y'all located? You're on Central College, right?
Yes, Central College, 1301 Alabama Street.
And you're in the San Jack building?
San Jack, no, the JB Whitley building.
Okay, good to know.
Yes.
Good to know.
Room, the suite is 222.
All right.
222.
Well, Marcus and Renee, I want to thank you all for joining us today. And
Thank you.
yeah, I'm always excited about our barber program. So
yes, come over, get a cut.
Sounds good. We'll have all your contact information.
Right.
Innovation.
Yeah, we do more than just hair cutting. The program is bigger than just cutting hair. So, you know, we do facials as well. Some of the students are great with the nails. These are all the things that they're learning in this barber program.
Oh, that's awesome. You know what? I'm going to book a whole day spa trip over there.
Come on.
All right. Well, we're going to have all your contact information in our post after the show. We're going to take another break here real quick, but when we return, we're going to learn about a partnership of dramatic proportions.
At Houston Community College, we make your lessons matter. Open the door to real-world education, where passions become careers. Find out more at hccs.edu and let your success take flight.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
And welcome back to the topic. We're talking about the Consumer Arts and Sciences Center of Excellence today. And right now we've got our some great information. We've got our Fashion Archive, and they're partnering with Stages Theater to bring portions of HC's collection to the public. And so I'd like to welcome Denise Hulett, the archivist for HCC's Fashion Archive, and Eboni Bell Darcy, who's the Associate Artistic Director of Inclusion, Engagement, and Training at Stages Theater. Welcome, Denise and Eboni. How y'all doing?
Good. Thank you for having us today.
Oh, I'm excited that y'all are here. It's our pleasure. Denise, can you give us a little bit of an overview of the Fashion Archive?
Yes, it's HCC's best kept secret, which it needs to not be. We are the largest fashion archive for a community college in the country, and the second largest with a university or college in Texas, second after UNT, and one of the biggest in the country. We have over 12,000 items in the fashion archive going all the way back to the 1700s, representing major fashion houses, but also history too.
So what does the archive do? I mean, how can people interact with that?
So first and foremost, is a resource for our students. So our fashion design students, fashion merchandising students can come in and they get tours with their classes, but they also can make appointments to see certain items. So if they're looking at technique, how something's done, like pleating, they can look at items from Issey Miyake. If they're looking at what the fashion looked like in the 80s, they can come and browse the 80s. They can come for inspiration. So that is first and foremost. But with the community, we're also getting it out there for different ways that we can collaborate with the community to showcase what we have, but also represent the history of Houston, the history of Texas, and the history of fashion.
Love it. And so one of those collaborations, of course, was Stages Theater. How did that start?
Eboni, I'll let you take that one.
Sure, yeah. So Stages and HCC has a shared supporter in Carolyn J. Keating. Carolyn actually is a world-renowned, or she was a world-renowned ballroom dancer. She had all these incredible garments that she wanted to share with the world, that she had worn in competitions, in Italy and for huge competitions right here in the States. And she wanted to display it. So she met Andrea Bonner, who works over in the Fashion Archives at HCC, to donate those items that she had to the Fashion Archive. And Carolyn said, I think, Andrea, you should meet the folks over at Stages. And she introduced me to Andrea. And we really talked about what Denise just described. It's kind of a really hidden gem here in Houston, and this kind of desire to get the Fashion Archives, out into the public so folks can see it. And I really have a desire to increase folks' understanding around whatever show we have on stage. So fashion is a great way for people to come and kind of get a visual of the history of a piece or the tone of a piece that they're about to see on stage. And so that's the kind of partnership that we launched into for Miss Rhythm at Stages.
Well, that's incredibly exciting. A great show and education. Eboni, talk to me a little bit about the mission of Stages and the Gordy Complex.
Yeah, so Stages' mission, let me see. I'm going to try to say it. I'm paraphrase a little bit, right? We make plays and tell stories that invite everyone to live more deeply and love more boldly. We hold up a mirror to our community that allows people to ask the question, what does it mean to be human? We do 8 shows a year in our season, as well as several different other presented shows and pieces of things we might bring from out of town. We put on a wide variety of shows, from comedies to dramas to musicals, spooky stuff. We really try and really speak to the beautiful diversity that is here in Houston, really providing a wealth of entertainment, live entertainment for many different people, many different tastes, right? And we opened the Gordy actually in January of 2020. And it is a 3-theater performing arts complex with a super cool bar and gallery area, and some really unique spaces that folks won't really find in other arts venues here in Houston. So it's also really intimate. So every time you see a show at Stages, you're never going to be in a house that's bigger than about 250 people. So it always creates an incredibly intimate experience for folks as they take in the live performance.
No, absolutely. I've been there. It's a great theater space. Now, you mentioned the show, Miss Rhythm, The Legend of Ruth Brown, and that kind of kicked off this effort. Can you each tell us a little bit about how you selected the pieces for that installation?
Yeah, so when they contacted us about this, we went through the archive looking for clothes that we thought would represent the 50s, 60s, 70s, and even into the 80s for a rhythm and blues singer. And so we brought a rack full. And then when we got there, I believe, Eboni, we worked with your intern with you, and then your intern a little bit too. And then actually in the end, the costume department, it was a group effort. But looking through the book on Ruth Brown, could we find something that looked like something she actually wore to make it even more dramatic? And that's how kind of got started.
Absolutely.
Cool. Question for each one of you. I'd like to hear what you both say. What would you like to see come out of this collaboration in the future?
I know we'd like to see more of this. It was fun. We had so much fun picking out the clothes, setting it up, seeing it, working with Stages, which is an amazing company to work with. We just want to do more and more with them.
Yeah.
Any way that we can help support each other and get both of us more exposure in the community.
Yeah. And, I think it's really important for us to, as an organization and as an industry of theater to make sure that we're inviting, folks of college age out to see theater and let them know that this kind of medium is for them, right? And it exists and is a way that they can kind of take in a really cool experience that they may not be taking in. So I hope that we're able to inspire more HCC students to come on down to Stages or any of the wonderful theaters, arts institutions in Houston and see a piece of work. And I think that Houston has a lot to offer as far as live theater is concerned, and the Fashion Institute really gives people like something to look at beyond what is on the stage, so that they can connect with the story that's being told, even if you don't see yourself up there. And we all saw. We had a Barbie summer. Was it last summer? We had a Barbie summer, right? Because everyone was so into like, going to put on the pink and we're going to put on the little skirt and we're going to wear all the stuff, because fashion really is a window for people into a story, right?
It is.
So I'm really excited about future partnerships with HCCC that allows us to provide that window for people.
Well, we're excited for that partnership too. And I just want to thank you both for coming on. Denise Hulett, Archivist for HCC's Fashion Archive, and Eboni Bell Darcy, Associate Artistic Director for Inclusion, Engagement, and Training at Stages. We're going to have all your info and the link for your digital version of the Fashion Archive in our post after the show. And to everyone out there tuning in today, I just want to say thank you for joining us on the topic. If you enjoy the show, follow us on Facebook and YouTube as Houston Community College District. To listen to the topic and more HCC programming, visit hccs.edu/podcasts. For the topic on HCC TV, I'm Daniel Scholl.